You're listening to the Traffic and Funnels Show.
Hey folks, this is Alan, producer of the TNF Show. Today's episode comes from an internal training Taylor did recently where he discusses how to avoid burning out. Join our podcast subscriber community by visiting trafficandfunnels.com/subscribe to get a free gift from us and also get access to special deals on our next level paid products. All right, here's the show.
A couple people on my teams have been having the same issue, like 4 people in a row. So when that happens, I usually assume that it's probably extrapolating to other people. Drive. How many of you have it?
Everybody?
Not everybody. Everybody in the world?
We have it. Everybody on our team.
Come on, be careful with your words, bro.
True.
How many of you have a lot of it?
Right now.
It depends on the day.
Huh?
Depends on the day.
Depends on the day? Like right now? How many do you have? What do you have? How much drive do you have?
On a scale of 1 to 10?
Yeah. 4? All right, she's burnt out. How much drive did you have 2 weeks ago?
11.
11. So when you don't take care of your drive, that's what happens. You go from 11 to 4. If left to my own devices, without any of my habits, any of my tools, my journals, everything I've taught, I will literally set the building on fire. That's how much drive I have. You could give me $11 million and I would be pissed. It's not enough. I worked my ass off for this. It's not enough. How many of you have hit a record and you don't feel great about it?
Yep.
All right.
Like you want more?
You want more.
Yeah.
You worked too hard for it. You didn't enjoy it. The next month starts over and you start over and you're pissed off because now you have to do it again. These are like, it's like residue on an engine. Like when there's high torque, you got mess. You just have mess. You got to clean up messes. You're high maintenance. Our sales teams, our executives, some of them are not doing what I've told them to do. And so their drive is becoming unsustainable. Like their drive is not serving them anymore. They are becoming a slave to their drive. It's not a weapon anymore. It's a master. You ever been there?
Yeah.
I mean, listen, 2016, 2017, 2018, my life was defined by unhappiness because I was not where I wanted to be. I thought that 6 figures a year would make me happy. It didn't. Shocker. It's only $8,000 a month. It's nothing. So no, I wasn't happy with that. Then I thought 6 figures a month would make me happy. What do we think?
Didn't work.
Not at all.
Oh. Then I thought it was 250. What do we think? 500. $1 million. 2 million. We did $5 million last month. And I learned eventually at like probably February, March of 2019 that my drive was out of control and I was attaching my happiness to external things and simulations and that did not actually matter. So I just got done talking with about this and I'm like, when you're winning, that's when you have the most vulnerability to slowing down. He's like, we're not winning. I don't feel like I'm winning. Okay, we just set a record in every department in the real estate company. Every single one. Sales, acquisitions, rehab, everything. And we're not winning. The f*** is that? Drive. But it's unsustainable. He's like on the edge of burnout, just like D. I'm like, when's the last time you've gone back and looked at last year? Oh, I don't do that. I was a baby last year. No, duh, that's the point. Guarantee you, if he were to look back at last year, he would notice where he came from, and all of a sudden he would feel like he's winning. It's like taking penicillin when you're sick. You don't want to eat it all day. You want doses of it. Make sense? Yep. Like, you got to look at where you came from, because you are a whole lot stronger now than you were 6 months ago. You can make a lot of money now and it doesn't define you. Versus 5 years ago, you could not do that. So what this training needs to be about is how to use the past to propel yourself into the future. So every day, I swear I've said this before and people just forget. Every day I'm looking at old Taylor Welch, and he is ugly. I don't like him. I think he's weak and poor and stupid. But every morning I get a piece of gratitude for Taylor Welch today. Right? So I don't feel like I have to hit my numbers because I need to do that to be important. That's the wrong fuel source. Okay? When I get out of my car and I go to the gym and I see you every day, I'm coming right off of that moment where I've looked into my past and I get to thank God for where I came from. I didn't get stuck because I could have gotten stuck. And that gratitude will push you through the entire day. And it's clean. It's electricity. There's no oil in my Tesla. I don't have to clean that out. It's clean. Right?
No.
The alternative of that is, oh, I have to perform. I have to push. We're not winning. We're never winning. And you end up like grinding your gears, and then you come to the office crying because you're exhausted, right? So as producers, we got to remember this, because you haven't capped out, none of you have capped out. Like, there's a lot of cap space for you, and the higher you go up the mountain, the harder it is to what? Breathe. So you got to pay attention, because you're getting less oxygen the higher you go, not more. More money is more problems, but legit. Everybody says that. They don't understand it. So I've had to do this in my life so that I don't kill myself from wanting more all the time. Okay?
Yes, super good.
Questions?
So how do you balance, like, the I have to perform, I have to do all this, and like, oh my God, look at where I came from? Because like, are you using that of like, holy shit, look at where I was 3 years ago, to kind of bring down that drive or that internal pressure where you're like, I have to do 7 million this month? Is that what you're using that for, in terms of looking back at your old self and where you've come?
It doesn't bring it down, but it defines it and cleans it up. It's been a long time, dude. A long time since I felt like I had to do something for me. That's the difference between neediness and necessity. So if you're like, oh my God, I have to do 27 because I did 26 last month, man, you're going to be the most needy person in the world.
Because you don't have to.
Because you don't have to. And anytime you have something that's like, I have to do this, and it's you-centered, it's neediness. But if he helped 26 people and now he wants to help 27 people, that translates into necessity for the person on the other end.
So when it's you-centered, that's when it's a problem. Because you're I'm selfish, and if I don't hit it, then I'm
And that's when it's you-centered, it's oftentimes identity-centered. When it's others, it's usually contribution-centered.
So even if, like, right now, as I'm in the market of buying a new house, I shouldn't be thinking about, I need to produce this much money so that I can buy a new house. But it should be...
You can do it for clarity, because clarity is a really profound weapon. You know, if you know, like when we did our financial planning, that gives you a target, you know. But if you don't hit 33, it was a failure to hit your target. It's not a failure of the human being known as.
Right.
It's not an identity failure. And so when you're running your own book of business with the type of autonomy you have, you're basically running a business inside of our offices, you know.
Exactly.
When you have a failure inside of that business, that's not a personal failure. It's just a business failure. Something didn't work out in your book. Can you change something to make it better next month? Yeah. So it's good to have targets, because you're like, oh, winning, losing. But you cannot make it about, I am only valuable if I do 27 this month because I did 26 last month. Make sense?
It does make sense. A lot of sense.
Yeah, you want clarity, but you don't want to have the neediness that comes with, like, I'm only valuable if I sell $1 million in real estate.
Because you're attaching way too many external things on your numbers.
Yet could never sell another thing again in the world, and she should still be just as important as she is right now. If she doesn't understand that, then her identity is compromised.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, you're not necessarily valuable because of what you do, but what you do makes you important to other people and your contribution.
Hey folks, we'll get back to the show in just a moment. We wanted to give you a quick opportunity to learn about some fabulous ways to get additional value from the TNF show. Hang tight, we'll be right back.
Yo, what's up, crew? Taylor Welch here, and if you're a fan of this show and you want to get a little bit deeper in your commitment to your business and your growth and your revenue, head over to trafficandfunnels.com/subscribe. As a subscriber, you're going to get a free gift from us just to help you grow your business, and it's our way of saying thank you for joining the family. Our exclusive offers and deals usually show up to this subscriber community as well, so you'll get first dibs access on anything new, anything exciting, and most of the time that means profitability for you. Visit trafficandfunnels.com/subscribe. I'll see you on the inside, my friends.
Have you ever felt like you work, you're constantly chasing something, but you wake up one day and you feel like you've done all of this effort and you haven't really gotten a good return out of it, but you can't give up because you've put in all of this effort, and so you get stuck inside of this hamster wheel that the entrepreneur gets stuck into? One of the things that I learned pretty early on was that you can run really, really fast. You can be a really hard worker. You can be not lazy, not cheap, but you can be running in the wrong direction, and where's it gonna take you? Not only do you have to have the mentorship, but you have to know what not to do. We have this cool training that is actually going to teach you the things that you should avoid in your business and how to replace them with the things that actually will work to get you more clients, better clients, happier clients, more money. A lot of times people think business is about service, but no, business is about generating profit. If you can create service but you can't generate profit, you go bankrupt. But how do you do both at the same time? How do I say, I love who I'm serving, the clients that I have are getting great results, and I'm making a lot of money doing it? I'll teach you all of those things in this training. It's free, and maybe one day you'll be able to have a team of your own and an office of your own, and maybe even have some nice cars. We'll see.
Visit trafficandfunnels.com/holy grail. That's trafficandfunnels.com/holy grail.
So you can still have the necessity, bro, that you're talking about, but if you clean it up and you weigh that with where have I come from, that gratitude it'll fix it.
So that gratitude part is pretty much like the opposite of a morning formula,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Like your morning formula is like, who do I want to become? What do I want? Your gratitude is like, who the hell was I 6 months ago, a year ago?
So the morning formula is the fuel, and I think the gratitude is like the oil. It's like the cleaning. So I do both every morning. I've got my morning formula. That's actually the first thing I read is a morning formula.
Okay.
Yeah. But you'd be shocked by how dirty you get when your whole morning formula is about what you have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So
Because then you're just like, you'll just crush. You'll win, but you'll kill people to do it. A lot of my morning formula now is like, this is how many people I help per year. This is how many case studies we have. It's like not really about what I have, I learned to always ask this question when people would beat me at something. I would ask, what are they doing different and what do they believe that's different? Those are the two cornerstones. Because sometimes people aren't doing anything different. They just believe something a little bit different, and then everything they do works because they believe something different. So there's nothing wrong with being pissed off that someone's beating you. Like, that's a perfectly normal thing for a person with competitive spirit to do. Right. In fact, if you're not, I ask who has drive. Drive's a good thing. You just want to keep it clean. But like, if you don't care that you're losing, you don't have any drive.
Right.
So I always say something's actually wrong with you a little bit, especially in this function.
You still don't want it to be attached to your identity.
You don't want to be like, he's beating me and therefore he's better than me. And, well, I suck.
Yeah.
And then get all beat up by it. You want to see what he's doing different and what he believes is different.
So would you say the drive comes from the why you're doing something and not the how you're going to do it then?
Yeah, I don't think drive has it doesn't have correlation to how you do it. I mean, I'll do it something anyway. If it works, I'll do it. Drive doesn't come from what you're doing, but drive comes from a lot of other things. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You good? You got any questions?
Well, so
Is this helpful, first of all?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm trying to prevent us from going off of a burnout cliff here.
after, I closed the million, that was great. Honestly, after I had some tears of gratitude, like, hooray, I did that.
Yeah.
I didn't immediately feel like, oh my God, I have to do that again. I kind of felt like, cool, I did that. I know that I can do it again.
Yeah.
But I didn't feel immediate pressure to do it again. Where I could use some help, like today, is yesterday you told me to go home.
Yeah, take a break.
There are tasks that need to be completed. What?
And those tasks are more important than your sanity.
No.
Oh. There we go.
But they are.
Did you go home and take a break?
I left at 4. But they are time sensitive. So, like, what do I need to, where is my thinking broken about, like, I need to do this now versus not doing it right now?
Could you have done them today? Yes, the answer is yes. I know your business.
Yeah.
I run it. The answer is yes. You can't get around that. Could you have done it this morning at 5:30? She doesn't want to answer because she knows. You're never going to fix that. That's a fundamental law written into the universe. Like, there's going to be stuff to do. I don't know that anyone here has ever taken a break when they had nothing to do. They all had to leave something. And that's what's terrifying. But you made a decision. You sort of made a decision yesterday that your work was more important than you.
Yeah.
And until you stop fighting me on that, it's just gonna haunt you. Like, it's gonna come back and grab you. We'll probably hit $100 million next year.
Let's go.
Between everything combined. And that's only worth it if we stay healthy. So none of this freaking out, can't take a break. All of our executives have to take a break once a month, if that tells you anything. Keep your drive clean. If you don't look back every morning, you'll start to feel it, and you'll start to notice it like 3 or 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
Because then you'll just get angry.
Yeah.
Yesterday, his last call of the day didn't come in. Man, he was so pissed. He was like about to set his car on fire. It's like, dude, it's okay.
Yeah.
He's not remembering where he came from. You know? So sometimes the challenge with that kid is going to be like, bro, do you remember September when you started 3 weeks ago? Like, come on, bro. How about some gratitude? Gratitude is so good. So hang on to it.
Thanks for listening. For more from Chris and Taylor, visit trafficandfunnels.com and get a free gift just for being a subscriber. That's trafficandfunnels.com.